Hello and welcome to the Super Professor podcast. You're listening to Clemons Kunkel, AKA Super Professor, and today is on how do you become super? So I figured I'd give you guys a hand on that, seeing how I am the Super Professor. And how did I become the Super Professor? That's a good question. Actually, a friend of mine actually called me the Super Professor, and I asked him, why did you call me that? And he goes, well, you go around breaking block, and you got your new theory coming out, so therefore you're kind of like the Super Professor. I'm like, well, I kind of like that. And so it kind of stuck with me. And I thought, well, hey, I like it. Maybe you guys would like, trying this out too. So the thing is, how do you make yourself super? Well, you're already super in someone else's eyes already. You just never realized it. I'm sure you never thought about yourself being super, but think about, isn't there someone in your life that you've looked up to? Your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your friend, your next door neighbor, a colleague you work with, someone that you admire and think, wow, they're amazing, they're super, a singer, a dancer, you wanted to follow them, you wanted to be like them. So you've had people that you've looked up to and considered them super, So now if you look and you never told them, it's like, I never told them that they're a super person, they're like my super friend, they're super great. So you never told them. Don't you think there's other people out there that never told you that you're super? Now, see, once I became the Super Professor, I put it on all my products, Super Professor, Super Professor. And I even have t-shirts for my daughter. I'm the super dad. So I'm like, oh, I'm the super dad. So, the thing is, if you're super, you can't be weak. It doesn't work. It makes you go a little further. It makes you, as being a super professor, I have to do more. I have to study more. I have to learn more. Now, it's fun for me. And I thought it was fun for me. It's got to be fun for you guys, too. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to think of yourself as being a super mom, a super dad. Give yourself a title and live up to it. Maybe you're already living up to it and you don't realize it. But those are people out there that are trying to do more and want to do more and thinking, oh, no, I can't do that. I can't be super. Wait, you're already super. Definitely, absolutely, someone already looks at you as a superhuman being. They admire you. You just have to realize that. So to me, everybody's already super. It's not like I'm putting myself on a pedestal. I already think everybody else already is on that pedestal. Now, I don't know if that's easy to grasp, but to me, it's pretty simple. Make yourself super. Think about this. If you're a mother or father and you have children, and I'm sure you parents out there went to your child and go, oh my gosh, you're super smart. Oh, I wish I could to learn like that. Oh, I wish I could study like that. I wish I could play games like you. I can't do that. You're super smart. So I know that you've told your your kids, that they're amazing and unbelievable. So think about this. If you told your kid that, wow, you're like Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic Four. You're like Reed Richards. He knows everything. And, it's like, that's a compliment. It builds the kid up. You're not doing anything wrong. You're making your kids proud of who they are and want, make them want to become more. And that's all it's about, is becoming more and becoming, not having limitation. Limitation holds a lot of people back. A lot of times they don't believe they can do something. Well, if you make yourself super, you have no choice. You have to do it. And the thing is, Tony Robbins, I don't know if anybody out there has been to, well, I'm sure thousands of people have been to Tony Robbins seminar. I'm one of them. But if you've ever been to a Tony Robbins seminar, one of his things is, if you can't do something, then you must. Now just think about that. Have you ever been in a situation you can't do it, but you must? That's what Tony teaches. You can't do something, then you must do it. And I love that line. It's like, oh, that's a great line. Now, my sister Leona, give you an example where that came into play. I'm out driving in the country with my sister. We're going down to the shore, and her two kids are in the car, and she's telling the story about the smoke fairies, and it's like how the smoke fairies ride up the smoke, and they come all the way back down. I'm listening to this fantastic story. It's unbelievable, and my sister get done, and little Kevin in the back goes, Mom, tell me another story. And she goes, looks at me and goes, your turn. I'm like, Lona, I don't know any story like that. That's a great story. She goes, Clem, I just made it up. What do you mean you just made it up? Yeah, I just made it up. Wow, that was a really good story. She goes, your turn. I can't do it. I don't know how to do a story. And she looks at me and she goes, if you can't do something, you must. And that was the first time that was ever used against me. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. I love Tony. I'm going to have to do a story. Oh. So I told little Kevin about this dragon. Heath Rock the dragon. I came up with this dragon story and just kept going on and on and on. And then he gets done. Uncle Clem, tell me another story. Uncle Clem, tell me another story. I'm like, oh, well, that was pretty easy, but I didn't think it was going to be. So it was a lot of fun, and it pushed me past something that I didn't do. So now if you look for me, you can find me anywhere. So I kind of like get rid of those limitations. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to make yourself super. And if you can't do something, do what Tony says, then you must. If you can't make yourself super, then you must make yourself super. Think of yourself as a super mom. Think of yourself as a super dad, a super friend. That's all you're doing is recognizing who you are and that you don't have limitation and that you can move on and you can be better and push yourself further because you're already super. So just, Superman doesn't stop. Superwoman doesn't stop. That's the thing. You cannot stop if you make yourself super. So if you give yourself a title, and then now you got to stick to it. And like your name is, some people has a name. My name is Clemons, so it's kind of like Clemons, but it doesn't say I'm super. I can put my definition on there, but I gave myself that super professor title, and that pushes me further than just my name. Yeah, I'm proud of my name, but I'm pushing myself a little further. So I figured if it pushes me, maybe I can teach you this and push you a little further. I'm sure everybody out there teaches their children to do better and wants them to expand and grow. I was actually thinking maybe I should make a super professor club. It's like, I need to have a club so everybody can join. But anyway, so that's the new podcast is like, how do you make yourself super? And I hope you actually take me up on it. I hope you actually try to follow and do better and do more. And if anybody's out there hasn't went to a Tony Robbins seminar, please do. He's amazing. He's unbelievable. I absolutely love Tony. He's a great person and a great teacher. So if you're looking to expand your knowledge, to learn more, do more, understand people better, Tony Robbins is awesome. So, don't forget to follow Brendan Mishard too. He's very, very, very good as well. So that's it for today, and thank you for listening, and have a good one. Super Professor out. Bye.